On a chilly October night in 2018, the University of Utah campus was shaken to its core. A promising young life was cut short, sparking a nationwide conversation about campus safety. This is the story of Lauren McCluskey, a student athlete whose distress calls went tragically unheard.
Is that she says, it feels like I'm bothering them because she was calling so much. And then I remember telling her, it's their job to listen to you, if you're complaining.
Lauren was more than just a statistic. She was a vibrant 21-year-old communications major, excelling both in academics and athletics. Ranked 10th all-time in Utah in the pentathlon, her athletic prowess was highlighted by her performance at various competitions, including the MPSF Championships, where she achieved personal bests in events like the 800 meters and high jump. Lauren's field coach described her as genuine and sweet. Her warm smile and caring nature touched everyone around her. But Lauren's bright future was about to collide with a dark past. In September 2018, she met Melvin Rowland at a local bar where he was working as a bouncer. At first, he seemed charming, but he soon turned into her worst nightmare. On October 9th, Lauren discovered Rowland's true identity, a 37-year-old convicted sex offender. It was only after some disturbing behaviors and her own research during a trip home that she learned of Rowland's true age and his criminal status. This revelation led to their breakup upon her return to campus. Following the breakup, the situation rapidly deteriorated as Rowland began a campaign of harassment and intimidation. Shocked and horrified, she immediately ended the relationship, realizing the danger she had unknowingly stepped into.
And she started getting a lot of texts.
I've been getting these texts from these numbers of different people. They were saying that he was in the hospital and then saying that that he passed away. But then I got a text from him and he seems to be alive. I got a text about, asking if I wanted to go to his funeral. And I think they're trying to lure me somewhere.
However, this was just the beginning of relentless harassment. From October 10th to 13th, she received a flood of threatening messages, some urging her to harm herself. The fear and anxiety became unbearable, pushing Lauren to seek help. But what happened on October 13th stopped Lauren in her tracks.
In contact though with University Police, specifically Miguel Darris. So anytime she was getting messages, she would just forward them on to him. She had his personal number.
Rowland texted her, telling her he had a compromising photograph of the two of them together, and that unless she paid him $1,000, he would publish it online. In a desperate attempt to protect her privacy, McCluskey complied, sending $1,000 as he demanded. Lauren and her friend Alex went to the campus police station to report the harassment and blackmailing. One of the officers looked up Rowland on the campus directory and told Lauren he seemed like a pretty good guy who'd only been stopped for a traffic ticket on campus. It would later be revealed that they looked up the wrong person in their database who happened to be a student with the same name. She was also told a detective would contact her, but the response was slow and dismissive. Unsatisfied, she also reached out to Salt Lake City Police, but was rerouted back to campus police, saying that the extortion was under the University Police's jurisdiction. Days later, on Friday night, October 19th, Lauren expressed her stress to her friend Alex, and that weekend she sent 3 screenshots to campus police of Rowland's mugshot showing his criminal history, but the police response was again inadequate. Tragically, Alex never heard from Lauren again after that.
Saturday, October 13th, her practice ended and then we headed to the police department. We went inside. Darris and another officer came out. The entire thing was conducted in the reception area of the police department. I felt like they weren't taking it seriously because we had told them she lives on the first floor, maybe she should move housing. He's a sex offender, he went to jail. And I actually had to Google it myself and hand my phone over to him.
Around 3 p.m. on the day of the murder, Rowland snuck into Lauren's apartment building and waited in the lobby. At 8:20 p.m., as Lauren returned from class, he confronted her in the parking lot. Lauren's final moment was a chilling phone call to her mother, cut short by screams. Roland grabbed her, dropped her belongings, and forced her into his car. On October 22nd, by 9:55 p.m., Lauren McCluskey was gone. Her life ended, shot in the back seat of Roland's car. Roland then met a woman from a dating site, had dinner, and showered at her place. Meanwhile, Lauren's parents frantically tried to reach her. Later that night, the woman Roland met on a dating site recognized him from the news and called the police. Salt Lake City police found him shortly after midnight and followed Roland into Trinity AME Church. As the police entered, Roland shot himself to death.
Lauren's family shared this touching video of the track and field star, compiled when she was being recruited to college. The theme song, Girl on Fire.
As Lauren's world was closing in around her, the very institutions meant to protect her were falling at every turn. The University of Utah's handling of her case exposed glaring gaps in campus safety protocols.
University of Utah students murdered in 2 years. And last month, Lauren McCluskey murdered by an ex-boyfriend who police acknowledged had gained access to her dorm and was waiting for her the day of her murder.
But the failures didn't stop there. Background checks were neglected. Roland's status as a convicted offender somehow slipped through the cracks. Even more alarming was the campus police culture that discouraged collaboration with external law enforcement agencies. The tragedy sent shockwaves through the community and beyond. The University of Utah faced intense scrutiny and was forced to confront its shortcomings. After Lauren's death, it emerged that Roland was on parole. A parole agent spoke to him on October 16th, unaware of Lauren's harassment reports. University police failed to check his parole status, missing a chance to revoke it. Roland's violent history, including attempted sexual assault and threats of violence, was uncovered. The University of Utah president requested an independent investigation into police actions. This review, released on December 19th, highlighted significant missed opportunities to save Lauren and recommended hiring more staff, training on dating violence, and adopting a lethality assessment for intimate partner violence cases. But is it enough? Lauren's story is a stark reminder that campus safety isn't just about buildings and protocols. It's about creating a culture of vigilance, empathy, and quick action.
This day is always really sad for me, and I dread it coming, but I appreciate all the support from this community and this campus.
Lauren was my teammate when I ran at the University of Utah. I feel like there's just that personal connection, so when I see this race, it's definitely hard not to do it.
It's a whole new group of people, and they have personally apologized to me for what happened, and they have said that they will do all that they can to make things better.
Done a lot of work, and it's been in the name of Lauren McCluskey.
Lauren McCluskey's life mattered. Her death must not be in vain. We must continue to demand better from our institutions, to protect the vulnerable, and to ensure that no student lives in fear on their own campus.